Welcome back, everybody. Today, I wanted to start with a poem. It's like a little small poem out of my book, Wood Becomes Water. It's a Chinese medicine 5-element book. And this is in the chapter of water. And so basically, this poem has a water theme, but I really liked it, and you'll see why. It's called Brief Tenant. And it says, out of the vast depths of time past, man comes like a meteor's flash. In myth and dream, this living dust remembers chaos, the drift through endless night, the longing to cohere, the shock, the winds, the vast light of creation. Was it 7 billion years ago this planet formed from the cosmic cloud? How many billion when first life started stirred in the seas? Our blood is sea and water. It remembers tides, the moon's pull. In the hollow of the womb, each of us is life evolving from the sea. So it's basically saying, like, when you were in the womb, you were in water. So everything starts from water, which I like that. All right. Feel free to close your eyes or gaze at a point out in front of you. Take a moment to drop in, deepen your breath. Just notice how you're feeling today, how you're doing on all the levels. As a way of stepping into our practice, we'll sing Om one time. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Release your hands. Open your eyes. Let's begin on all fours. Do some rounds of cat and cow, starting from the base of your spine. Round all the way up your spine, bringing your chin toward your chest, lifting your upper back as high as you can. And then on an inhale, reverse the movement, curl from your lower, middle, and upper back, lift your chin, broaden your sitting bones apart. Continue back and forth at your own pace. One variation, a way to do this is to do the whole thing with your toes curled under. Sometimes it can add a little bit of an extra foot stretch. Feel free to move your hips and shoulders, head and neck more organically, or just continue on with the traditional cat-cow. Come into a downward dog. Feel free to keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. Reach your heels to or toward the floor. Create even weight between your hands and your feet. Feel free to be still, or you can add in a little movement, bending one knee, straightening the other, maybe even wiggling your hips side to side. Take your knees back to the floor. Bring your big toes together, knees just a little wider than your hips. revolve child's pose. Reach your right arm all the way open. Then swing your right arm under your left arm. Shoulder, ear to the floor. Feel free to walk your left arm straight. Press your left hip back. Walk your left hand back. Reach your right arm all the way up. Lower your hand to the floor. Lift your left arm all the way up. Swing your left shoulder and ear to the floor. Feel free to straighten your right arm. Tack your right hip back. Walk your right hand back. Reach your left arm all the way up. Lower your hand to the floor. Downward dog. Take your knees back to the floor, right underneath your hips. You can either have your toes curled under or point them back. And take your forearms to the floor. And then push your arms gently forward so that your heart melts between your arms. And you can take your forehead either to the floor or to a block. If you need a little bit more help, you can turn your arms out so they make a slight V shape. That can help support you a little bit better. Lift your head up. Come all the way down to your belly. And then rest your forehead on your hands for a few long breaths. Lift your head, roll onto your right hip, and then prop yourself up on your right forearm, but have it angled out slightly. Make sure your outer right hip is on the floor, and then just step your left foot slightly in front of your right foot. Bend your right knee and grab your right foot with your left hand for cat pulling its tail. For this one, do push your left leg a little bit longer. Breathe here. Lower your right foot. Switch to the left side, just roll over. Be on your outer left hip. Step your right foot a little bit in front of your left foot. And then bend your left knee. Grab your left foot with your right hand. And just let your left foot fall toward the floor. Grow your right leg a little bit longer. Lower your foot to the floor. And then come back down onto your belly. Take your left arm straight out to the left so your palm's flat. Pull your shoulder back and then roll onto your left hip again. Scoot your hips a little more forward. Take your right leg up, bend your knee, and step your foot behind you. Feel free to drop your left ear to the floor. Switch sides, roll back through from your belly. Take your right arm to the right. Roll to your right side. It's raining, so hopefully you can hear me, not the rain. Lift your left leg, bend your knee, step your foot behind you, and let your right ear drop to the floor. Roll back to your belly. Slowly come up to all fours. And then grab your 2 blocks. I'm going to do that supported back bend shape. So just take your 2 blocks parallel to each other. You can go on the low or the high setting. And then take your bottom tip so your shoulder blades level with that corner of the block closest to you. And slowly lie back, taking hands behind your head. Feel free to lift and lower your hips, maybe even straighten your legs, and then start to curl back with your elbows squeezing in. Feel free for a few more long breaths to extend your arms straighter back behind you. Take your hands behind your head, lift your head back up. Take your hands to the floor, push your torso up. Stay long in your spine. And take your blocks off to the side somewhere. Come back to all fours. And step your right foot outside your right hand. Lower your left knee, sliding it back a little bit. And feel free to drop your forearms to the floor or use a block. And you can either be still or wiggle side to side if you'd like. Half Hanuman. Lift your torso up. Slide your right foot to the front midline of your mat. Work your leg towards straight. Lift your toes and slide your left knee a little further back. And fold forward over your right leg to whatever capacity. Allow your head to drop. Lift your head back up, walk your hands back, step your right knee back, and your left foot outside your left hand. Low lunge. Feel free to lower down onto your forearms. Maybe wiggle your hips side to side. slowly come into half Hanuman. Lift yourself up. Left leg to the midline. Slide your right knee back a few inches. Fold over your left leg. Walk your hands back. Step your left knee back. Now, grab one of your blocks. We're going to come down to our backs. And then have one of your straps nearby, or your strap, the strap. Once you lie down on your back, take your block to the lowest setting and stick it underneath your hips where you would if you were in supported bridge. And then make sure it's not pinching anywhere on your lower back, and if it is, lower it down a little bit further. If you have a strap like I do, and it has the little loop-de-loop thing that you can make a loop with, then go ahead and do that with it. If not, you're just gonna wrap your strap over your foot. If you have the loop, put your foot into the loop, right foot. And then you're gonna hold your strap as high up as you can hold it with a straight leg. Your left leg can either stay bent or straighten your leg toward the floor. And then reach your left leg longer as you push your right leg longer. If your strap is long enough, you're gonna take the strap to the right side of your face and then wrap it behind your head or neck. And then taking that part of the strap into your left hand pretty tightly. If your strap is not long enough, you're just gonna do this whole thing holding your strap with your right hand. So pull on the strap with your left hand if you have it, as you take your right leg slowly to the right. And you can use your right hand still on the strap, maybe taking your right elbow to the floor. If you're struggling on the block, feel free to come back up, remove the block, and then try again. We're gonna be here for several breaths. And you just hold the strap wherever you can get the most comfort while still getting a stretch. Slowly lift your right leg back up using your hands on the strap. Untuck the strap from under your head. And then bend your right knee, unhook your foot, and then take your strap around your other foot. Holding the strap in your left hand all the way up until you still have your straight leg. Push through the ball of your foot. Maybe slide your right leg towards straight and reach through your right leg. What the block is doing is it's helping you get a little extra stretch on your hip flexors as you hold this pose. Take your left leg to the left, either using your strap behind your head or neck, or just holding your strap in your left hand. And then pull tension on the strap. Slowly bring your leg back up using your hands on the strap. Bend your right knee, unhook your foot, and just lower the strap to the ground. Push both feet down to lift your hips up, and then slowly remove the block out from underneath you. Do a few windshield wipers, let your knees rock side to side. Take your right ankle to your left knee, Sukhi Randrasana, needle's eye. Widen your right knee to the right, either keeping your legs here or pull your legs toward your chest and interlace fingers around left thigh or shin. Feel free to rock side to side on the right side of your back. Take your right arm out from underneath your right leg and grab your right big toe with your first 2 fingers and thumb. Separate your right ankle from your left knee and take your right knee to the right toward the floor like half happy baby. Lean onto your right side as much as possible. Take your left hand to your left ankle and then do your best to flip your left shin over to the floor. You can always keep your toes curled under and just point your knee toward the back of your mat, or point your toes back, take the whole top of your foot down, maybe even scoot down. Maybe straighten your right leg to the right, Tibetan weaponry variation with a quad stretch. Lean a little to your right, bend your right knee, and slowly unbend your left knee. And switch sides. Left ankle over your right knee first. Pull your legs towards you, Sukhi Randrasana. Feel free to rock side to side on the left side of your back. Grab your left big toe, first 2 fingers and thumb with your left hand. Take your left knee to the left. Lean to the left, and then flip your right leg over as much as you can. Maybe straighten your left leg to the left. Slowly come out. Pull both knees to your chest for a moment. Take your right ankle to your left knee. Widen your right knee to the right. And then scoot your hips a little to your right. Take your legs to the left. And push your heels down and like you're squeezing them towards your hips. And hold here. stay here or point your right knee more toward your face. Take your left hand to your outer right foot, right hand to your inner left foot for the other variation of Tibetan weaponry. Left heel to left hip. Extend your right leg towards straight. And scoot your ribs a little to your left to take your right shoulder back to the floor. Bend your right knee, point your knee up, unhook your feet, come back up, hips to center, lower your right foot, left ankle over your right knee, scoot hips a little to the left, let your legs fall to the right, point sole of foot down, left knee up, and squeeze your heels in. Tibetan weaponry, revolved, grab your left foot with your right hand, right foot with your left hand, right heel to hip, kick your left leg towards straight. Bend your knee, point your knee up, unhook your feet, lift your legs back up, hips to center, unhook your foot, then roll to one side. Sit up. Take your legs out straight, out to the long corners of your mat. And then stay upright, lean back, or fold forward, Upavishta Konasana. Slowly sit up. Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Bend your right knee so your foot comes to your inner left thigh. And then turn to your right, left hand to right thigh. Reach your right arm up, lean to the left. Feel free to drop your left hand or forearm to the floor. You can do the side to thigh variation, but we're going to be holding it pretty long. So feel free to skip that one or do it for a little bit and then come back to a less deep one. If your right arm gets tired, you can bend your elbow and just drape your arm behind your head or hold the back of your head with your hand. Slowly sit up. Take your right leg towards straight and then bend your left knee. Right hand or forearm to the floor after you twist. Lean to the right. Take yourself as low as feels comfortable. And again, feel free after a few moments to bend your left elbow and drape your arm behind you. Slowly sit back up. Take your legs straight out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. Walk your sitting bones back and begin to drape yourself over your legs with either your knees bent or legs straight. Forehead toward your shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Slowly sit back up. We're going to do Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Take a comfortable seat. Alternate nostril breathing. First two fingers of your right hand toward your palm. Ring finger to your left nostril, thumb to your right. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Plug left, inhale right. Plug right, exhale left. Inhale left. Plug left, exhale right. Continue at your own pace. After your exhale through your right nostril, release the hand position and return to a natural breath. Feel free to stay upright or come all the way down for Shavasana. Rest. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Bring gentle movements back into your body. If you're lying down, gently bend your knees, roll to one side. Slowly and mindfully make your way back to seated. We'll end with one Om. Take a full breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Om.